one of the best fighters, pound for pound, in the world, in Tyson Fury, and on the same streaming platform that just acquired the rights for Copa America, all for the low, low price of $4.99 a month.
What a deal. I would seek out a Tom Schwartz to fight. I mean,
put that on the poll as well. At Levitard Show, would you seek out someone named Tom Schwartz to fight, even though you're not a fighter? Let's update the polls at Levitard Show. At Levitard Show, Instagram and Twitter. What do we have?
The Twitter poll is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club delivers the products you use to look, feel, and smell your best right to your door. Plus, with their handsome discount, the more you buy, the more you save. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/Dan for a special offer. Again, at Levitard Show on Twitter. How do you prefer your rice? You had two choices here, separate or in clumps.
Stan, how do you? It's not sticky rice. When you get white rice, do you prefer all of the I don't know, what are they, kernels, grains of rice? Do you wish for them to be together or apart?
Apart.
54% of the audience said separate. Likes rice in clumps. It's weird. I'm sorry, Mike. It's weird.
Entire regions of the world so myopic.
Okay. Is it chivalrous to? Did I say that right?
Yes.
To pick up food off the floor that your wife dropped and put it back on her plate.
Mike did that yesterday. He says it's chivalrous. There was a clump of rice. He just picked it up off the floor and put it back on her plate.
I think the rice fell out of the carton and held form right to the floor.
That's
Sticky
right.
rice.
That's right. That's correct.
54% of the audience said no.
It was close.
Bongos at Heat games. Great for setting the tone or awful?
What do you think, Stan? What would be your vote here?
What do you think?
Awful.
70% said awful. Better two words in sports, Game 7 or Super Bowl. 69% of the audience said Game 7.
Nice. Yeah, the Super Bowl last year was
better than the Super Bowl.
Yeah, best two words in sports, Game 7.
You know
man.
why? I think because in a 7-game series, the rivalry really starts to heat up. I mean, it's even though they're both just one-game things. I mean, they've been going back and forth at it for 6 games, and bad feelings crop up and everything else. I think that's probably the reason.
Dan, wait until you hear our Super Bowl idea. Not enough time
So
today,
great.
but we'll get to it next week.
Not today.
But not today.
Is it a 3-game series?
No.
No.
Not today.
No.
Not today.
No.
At Levitard
We're changing
Show,
the game. I mean,
Instagram and Twitter.
Will Sylvester Stallone still be making Rambo movies 44 years after his death? Last blood.
Did you actually clap your hands in delight, Stan?
That's a great question.
Really funny.
I mean, how many years past his death are we already?
Wow, Stan.
Whoa.
Stan.
Oh,
Stan,
man.
what is happening with you today? You are taking everybody out.
This is the same Sam Van Gundy that won't talk about anybody's looks.
That's right. He wouldn't call David Falk a bird of prey, but he was just fine telling you Sylvester Stallone's corpse is still standing in front of us and living. Unbelievable.
94% of the audience said yes. He'll still be doing it.
44
He
years.
really loves the question.
He really does. 44 years after his death.
If it's not fully guaranteed, is it guaranteed?
It's a great question, man.
88% of the audience said no. Would you seek out someone named Tom Schwartz for a fight?
Early voting.
Early votes, Dad. 64% of the audience said yes.
Let's get final thoughts here. Stan Van Gundy, Game 6. Season end tonight?
No, I think the Warriors win tonight in a close one, and Toronto wins Game 7.
How close? Like 2.5 points close?
Yeah, I think it's within a possession. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Good.
Wow.
Good call.
So you've got a
Nice.
great
Yes.
game tonight, Stan. Where do you come up with that? Why such a specific one
Well,
possession?
because I
go
think
either
the
way, it
Warriors.
feels like.
Okay,
I mean.
listen. Here's the thinking. Number one, at the start of the series, I took Toronto in 7, so I want it to get there. Number two, the only way the Warriors are going to win, in my mind, is in a close game, and so there we are.
Okay, fair enough.
Feels like a coin toss, but whatever.
Sounded like there might have been more to that. And had an abrupt end, but cool. 2.5. Right.
All right. Got it.
Well thought out there. Another close game. That's very exciting, Stan. Thank you for sharing that with us. I appreciate that prediction. You're promising us a good game. You are on fire today, buddy. You
Great.
Unbelievable. I'm sad we have to end the show. All right, go take get in a hot tub or something because you earned it today.
Thank you.
He was on fire.
Hot tub.
We will talk to you mañana. This was the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Introducing the new $5 Biggie Bag from Wendy's. It comes with a new bacon double stack made with a quarter-pound of fresh, never frozen beef and topped with crispy applewood smoked bacon. Plus 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink all for just $5. That's right, just $5. The new $5 Biggie Bag from Wendy's is everything you could ever want. Well, at least for lunch. Try Wendy's new $5 Biggie Bag today. Biggie Bag includes 4-piece nuggets, small fries, and a small drink. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Approximate weight before cooking. Price and participation may vary in Alaska and Hawaii.
This year, tell Daddy's special with great gifts from Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, like Bass Pro flag tees and logo caps for only $5 each. Save $40 on a Cuddy-Back Moonlight IR game camera, and save $200 on a Traeger Lil-Tex Elite Pellet Grill. Plus, get a free cover. For store locations and a huge selection of great Father's Day gift ideas, visit BassPro.com and Cabela's.com with free 2-day shipping. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
This is Halftime, live from the College World Series.
Hey, it's Tye Richardson. Your favorite midday show is on the road once again in Omaha, Nebraska at the College World Series. We're going to be getting you instant reaction, instant analysis, and the best guy for that is my partner in crime, my buddy, Phil Elson, the voice of Arkansas baseball. On Friday, we'll be at T. Henry's Pub. It's only about a half a mile from TD Ameritrade, 318 South 11th Street in Omaha, Nebraska. Again, it's really close to the ballpark, so you got to make it over there for halftime, 12 to 2 this Friday, June 14th. Grab a brew, talk some baseball with Phil. T. Henry's is even bringing in Arkansas Razorback flags. They're trying to make it the official Arkansas bar up there in Omaha, Nebraska. So come by and see our show this Friday live at T. Henry's Pub right near TD Ameritrade Park. We're going to be there all week. Halftime is on the road at the CWS.
Every weekday from 12 to 2, only on ESPN 95.3.
The new Harry Robinson Salisal Ford has a bigger selection with over 200 vehicles in stock, personal service from a staff that is ready to work with you, and an all-new service department that's friendly and will fix your car right the first time. This is our promise to you at the new Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal, Oklahoma.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford.
Quit eating your burgers off a coffee table. If you want to eat a burger, put it on a bar. Follow your instincts to B-dubs for the new All-American Cheeseburger. Fresh, juicy beef smashed till it's crispy around the edges, covered in gooey cheese, and stacked to the ceiling with deliciousness. And knock that baby down with a frosted beer at the bar, just like the sports gods intended. The new All-American Cheeseburger at Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Please drink responsibly.
The Big Ten is up, and the prices are falling at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Now through Saturday, save 50 to 75% off clearance clothing, footwear, hunting and fishing gear, and all the equipment under the Big Tent. Great gift ideas for Father's Day throughout the store, with hundreds of items for that special dad. Don't miss the big Father's Day tent sale this week at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Summertime is fun time, and we're all about it at Rath Auto Resources. Hi, folks. Larry Rath here with exciting news about our summer sales drive. We're out to break every sales record this summer, and we're doing it with extra for trades, fast, easy financing for every situation, and huge discounts on our entire Rath Road Ready inventory. Like these special purchase 2018 Toyota Corolla LEs for only $14,848 or $0 down and $229 a month while they last. Plus, we'll be giving away a showroom full of summer fun prizes, including a grand prize trip to Big Cedar Lodge. Or let us take care of the car you have with buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, free AC checks, and 10% off all AC work in our Meineke Car Care Center. Don't wait. Give us a call, go online, or visit us today to save some real money on a nicer, newer car and register to win fun prizes during the summer sales drive at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
No purchase necessary. 0 down payment with approved credit. See dealer for details.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Lots of sunshine with us today. Our high temperature is in the mid-70s north, low 80s south. A few passing clouds overhead tonight, mid-50s. And then a little bit more cloud cover will start to push in here on Friday. High temperatures in the lower to middle 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Harry Robinson Buick GMC, where you always get more for your trade. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith. You can shop anytime at harryrobinson.com.
ESPN 2. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 79 days.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas! I love everything here! Give me that thing here! Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas? Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson.
You do a fantastic job on the radio. There's no one else in this league I'd rather listen to, so keep up the good work.
And Tye Richardson.
Been doing some homework, man. I appreciate the work you're putting in. Your show is really, really good, guys.
A bright red Razorback caravan is headed to Nebraska, and this time we're coming for the whole damn thing.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
On the road here in Omaha, Nebraska. Halftime coming to you live from the Hilton Doubletree downtown Omaha on the 19th floor. I think they call this the executive something or other. That's where they tell you can do important things that don't involve sleeping or eating or getting clean or getting dirty in some cases or just hanging out watching TV. This is where the offices are for people to do office-like things. And if you've been listening to us for the bulk of our, 9 months on the air, Tye? Really, the last 4 months is when we've added to this halftime mobile studio location, knowing full well that the most memorable and the best location for a mobile studio, especially this time of the year involving somebody that's connected to the Arkansas baseball program, would be the city of Omaha, Nebraska. And it almost just feels like kismet that here we are, a couple of days before Arkansas begins, hopefully a successful run in the College World Series, and we get a fantastic view to talk about it of the College World Series Stadium, 19 floors above and just 4 city blocks away. So I can tell you how empty right now TD Ameritrade Park is, but also how beautiful it is and how that bright grass just looks brighter by the moment. And that's about, 4 floors. I'm 4 floors above my hotel room. So I'm going to be piling it on you throughout the entire time we're here, Tye, and you're going to hate me. You are going to hate me by the time this show is all finished. Maybe the listeners will too. I hope this isn't just coming across as bragging or anything, but I feel as lucky as anybody could possibly feel, not just here with a successful baseball program for the second year in a row, but also getting a great view of the stadium and sending you shots of food that you probably would have liked to eat instead of what you ate last night. I'm telling you what, Tye, I'm going to try to remain as humble as I possibly can, but I got it made right now. I got to be honest. I couldn't imagine a better situation than right now.
What's the term in pace requisite? Is that how you say it?
I don't know. It sounds like you're speaking Latin to me.
Nirvana feels pastime. There's so many words and phrases that could be used to describe what you're feeling right now, and the games haven't even started yet. We're still 2 days away from Arkansas playing their first game against Florida State on Saturday night. But just with the view you're getting to look at right now, the food you're getting to consume, and the games that you're about to watch, this is Phil Elson's primetime. This is his Nirvana. And unfortunately, not only will I have FOMO from you, but when John goes up on Sunday, and then the possibility of Tommy, if Arkansas makes it farther into the tournament, would also be making the trip up there. So I'll just be my little lonesome self back here in our Fort Smith studios, crying, weeping, sobbing the fact that I'm not in Omaha on the verge of Arkansas potential winning the national championship. But there's worse lifetimes, there's worse jobs out there, so I'm just going to have to watch vicariously in Omaha through you guys.
I felt bad for a second there. A little bit of a second.
Just
really
a second.
The loneliness more than anything else. Without a roommate, without a co-host there, without anybody to answer to. Really, I mean, then you get a chance to just be the general manager essentially while you're over there by yourself.
I got a topic for you real quick, and you just be 100%, be brutally honest with me. John was just gonna expect me to take care of Rowdy, his dog. Now I'm going to get paid. I was like, but I'm not doing that. Like, it's one thing for a weekend, but like if he's got a week or two, I feel like that's not me being pushy or anything. Do you think I'm in the wrong if I should expect to get paid if I'm having to take a Rowdy? What could be up for 2 weeks? I feel like I'm not that bad of a roommate.
Well, I mean, it all depends on what sort of arrangement you and the roommate can work out together. But I would think there'd be some sort of payment isn't the right term, whether it's cash or something that's real money, but something or some act of value, I think, could be handed back on a roommate basis. I mean, roommates do have to, eventually take care of each other in some way. So
yeah.
Maybe this goes along with it.
But I let him out like all the time. It's pretty regular for
That's
me,
opening
like,
a door.
every day.
That's opening a door.
But take him outside and occasionally walking him. I'm pretty regular when it comes to that. I felt like maybe I'm wrong. Audience, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm being a clown, and we could throw a phrase in front of it. But I don't know if that's SEC regulated. But
this is funny because this is the sort of conversation, the sort of topic that I think a lot of people across Arkansas are having right now, because this is a shotgun plan. When you go to the College World Series, you have 2 days to plan for it, if that. And that goes along with everything that a normal life goes along with, whether you can take off of work, whether you've got the savings in order to pull it off. This is not an inexpensive event to try to be a part of. This isn't, we're going to go to the Final Four and it's a weekend. This isn't, we're going to go to the Super Bowl and it's a weekend. It costs plenty of money to travel to those events and to travel to buy the tickets and to get hotel rooms. You're talking about legitimately a 2-week event that if you come here, you're thinking, goodness, I mean, what if they make it all the way? I know a lot of people had a lot of kind of tough decisions to make last year on whether they wanted to spend the money or whether they could take the time to do it. And then who's going to let the dog out? And who's going to water the plants? And all those other things that go along with trying to keep a normal house. I don't know what that's like anymore.
Hey, you know what the good thing is? The money you had set aside for a potential bowl game this past year or an NCAA tournament, you still have that money because the Arkansas basketball team, the Arkansas football team didn't do jack this year when it came to postseason play.
Ty, I am so impressed with your ability to take a negative and twist it into the best positive possible. Well done.
I literally just thought about that on the spot. But, yeah, the performance that those teams both had would lead you to believe that some fans who set aside postseason money every single year would have that still left over, assuming they didn't blow it on something else. That being said, you can now use it for Omaha. So I feel like you put 2 and 2 together, that makes sense.
It's been a successful athletic season if by the end of the athletic season, football, basketball, baseball are done, you've got no more money to spend because you've gone to everything. If you're one of the lucky people that can actually pull that sort of thing off.
I was going to say I wish I was in that category where I could do that. It's one thing if we're.
I don't think there are a lot of people that could do all three.
I'm with you on that. And typically we've talked about this, how there's segments of the fan base that have their money allocated to football, certain to basketball, some to baseball. Some can do all three, but as you mentioned, that number is pretty minute. There's not a lot of those people that can afford to be as vast when it comes to attending all three sports.
Well, I mean, it used to be you could sort of count on being a bowl team. You didn't miss too many bowl games there for under Houston Nutt, and it used to be you could count on going to the NCAA basketball tournament too, and now it almost feels like you can count on going to the College World Series. Mm-hmm. Almost count on it. It had been for a while. We were looking at it's every 3 years. You remember, I mean, outside of 2004 under Dave Van Horn, you had 2009, 12, 15, and then 18. So you had your 3-year increments. And now you get it on back-to-back years. And so you start to think to yourself, well, maybe this is the sort of thing that can happen every year. or more than once over a 3-year period.
Yeah.
You get a little greedy. You do. And it's not that I don't say that you're looking ahead necessarily, but you do know the kind of program you had. And this is the conversation we got into about, Dave Van Horn not believing what the preseason polls say, because he's not looking at it from the writers' perspectives or the other coaches' perspectives who are looking at their preseason vote for Arkansas and saying, well, that's Arkansas, and that's Dave Van Horn, and they're going to get a lot better. Dave's looking at the team he had and just wasn't quite sure who could, if roles would be filled in the positive way, and everything was answered in an affirmative way, which has a lot to do with the coach. And when you're talking about Dave Van Horn, you're talking about the most successful coach outside of Lance Harder on campus. With all the track championships under Coach Harder, I think that he'd be the most successful. Dave, amongst the three major sports, as we would say, is the most successful and has been for a long time. Is there a different level that he's entered now that he has taken them to the College World Series a second year in a row and a sixth time under his watches in 18 years? And it's funny, too, because he's not won a national title. He's facing a coach who also is referred to from many people as the GOAT, in Mike Martin, who's won more games as a Division I college baseball coach than anybody ever, and is taking them to the College World Series for the 17th time in 40 years, and also never won a national championship. Does that diminish at all the achievements of an incredible head coaching career, which involves future Hall of Famers that are already playing big league baseball, guys like Buster Posey, major league managers, the initial prime time played for Mike Martin, Deion Sanders. The fact that he hasn't won a national title, does that diminish any of his accomplishments? Do you feel the same way about Dave Van Horn?
I think it has to, and not everyone's going to like that opinion, but, you think about some great players, great coaches over the history of whatever sport you look at. Think about Dan Marino. Some would argue he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Never won a Super Bowl. Charles Barkley, he's not really into the greatest of all time category, but here's a guy that never won an NBA championship, lost to the Bulls in 93, and then came up heartbroken in Game 7 in 94-95 against the Houston Rockets and was eliminated in the Western Conference Finals. You mentioned Mike Martin. That's just the category. You want to be revered. You want to be remembered, but you don't want to be the guy that people remember you as, the guy that never could get it done. And you and I both don't think that Dave is going to enter that category. We're along the same line of thinking as Kendall Rogers, that at some point in time, Dave Van Horn is going to win a national championship at Arkansas. That being said, you look at the last 11 years, Phil, and a guy that I was playing volleyball with last night brought this up, Brent, 5 College World Series appearances the last 11 years. And the stat, I skewed it up, and I just want to correct myself on this. If it's 2009 to 2019, that's not 10 years. It's 11 years.
That's 11.
It's
right.
11. And just like the every 3 years, it's every 4. Even though it's like 2015, 2018, it's 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. So it's 4, which doesn't make any sense. Like, initially when you look at it, it's like, no, that's 3. No, that's 4. So that being said, Phil, he's back-to-back for the first time ever in his career at Arkansas. And it's incredible. You mentioned it's his 6th overall here at Arkansas. And is it 8th or 9th overall in his career coaching-wise?
This would be
Nebraska?
the 8th.
Okay.
The 8th because of 2 at Nebraska.
In that time span, in the last 11 years, I'm going to go and include Florida on this list. They've been to 7. TCU's been to 5. LSU, Texas, Florida State, and Virginia and Vanderbilt have been to 4. The path to success has been there for Arkansas. But a lot of those teams I just listed have won national championships in that time span. So now it's just a matter of getting over that extra hump, which is always easier said than done. But again, I'll go back to the point I made earlier. You don't want to be known as the Mike Martin, not on the friendliness side. I'm not talking about that because he's one of apparently the nicest guys ever. I'm talking about the guy that couldn't win a national championship. And he still could this year. He could go out with a bang and win it. But I think Dave's, obviously, you know this better than I do, his end goal is to win one. And Kendall Rogers, who will have up coming about like 20 minutes, and others, think he's going to get one here at Arkansas.
See, and I've seen it argued, too, about Mike Martin that that some feel that it's more of a difficult achievement or more of an actual achievement to have the stability and consistent success on an extremely high level for as long as the Florida State program has been at that level. 42 straight years with an NCAA regional. The next closest streak is 13. To be in Omaha for 17 times, you could argue it both ways, really, that it's more impressive to have a track record like that than to win one national title. And look, when you're talking about legacies over airwaves or on a television screen, so often it's so-called talking heads, or at least on a talk show like ours, it's talking heads. It's not people that have been there. It's not people that have been on the field or have played for that coach. So there's going to be differing perspectives on what a legacy is. And I think a lot of folks look at the legacy of Mike Martin as something that they would definitely take, minus the national title. But here's the thing, too. I mean, he's in his 40th year coaching that program. Dave Van Horn is in his 18th year coaching Arkansas. And he's said publicly, there's at least another 10 years to go in his career as the head coach at Arkansas. And he'll be at the point where he can decide when it's time for him to retire, just like it was the same with Norm DeBryan. So, Dave's legacy's got a lot longer to go. But just like Mike Martin, it includes Major League award winners, Major League Hall of Famers, eventually Hall of Famers, and consistent success on an extremely high level over a long time, which sets them apart from so many other coaches that even have success for like a 5 or 6 year period, and win a national title during that time, but have the highs and the extreme lows to go along with it. When you look at Dave, I mean, right now the one thing is that 2016 season, the 1 year that they didn't make a tournament, any tournament. It's amazing. Florida State never had a season like that. They never had one of those so-called fluky years where they were so injured or a recruiting class didn't work out or a recruiting class was decimated by the draft to where they didn't even make an NCAA regional. It's shocking that you could have that sort of success on such a high level. And people didn't come to expect it year in and year out, which is now what you expect from Arkansas. Now, one of the things that I remember talking about, Tye, before the season started, that for Arkansas to get back to Omaha, they would need one of the returning players to take a giant step forward. But that happens for special teams. The 2017 season, which you wouldn't put in that special category because they didn't make it out of the home regional, but you still had a really successful season that year. Chad Spanberger took a giant step forward. And really that took place over the final 2 months of the season. In 2018, Eric Cole took that huge step forward, becoming a frontline SEC outfielder and leadoff batter and eventually a prospect now in the Astros organization. And you also had pitchers, kind of step up into those roles too, like Barrett Lowski, like Jake Reindl. Somebody was going to need to step up this year. And it turns out to be somebody that I don't know if anybody expected it to come from. Jack Kenley. And Kenley, I think this year they would have been very happy if Jack would have just stepped in to play second base and hit in the 280s to 290s with a couple of home runs, a few steals, play a steady second base. But Jack Kenley had other ideas, Tye, and look at what he has turned himself into. He's turned himself into a professional prospect with power and speed, and a guy that played second base for Arkansas this year, but he'll play. I'll be interested to see where it is the Tigers want him to play because he can play anywhere in the infield. And he 319 average, 13 homers, 53 runs batted in, with some huge hits in the postseason too. And now he's an All-American. D1Baseball.com chooses him as a third-teamer. It came out this morning.
Yeah, and I've told you for the past couple months now, he's emerged as my favorite guy, and he's not the flashiest, he's not the best, but there's something about him. It seems like he's very reliable in the field, and he comes up with tile-lead hitting similar to Casey Opitz. And you mentioned the power of the 13 bombs and the runs batted in. He's just been a monster for this baseball team last year. Didn't play I don't know if he played at all his freshman year, played sparingly last year, and now this year is getting to play and is instrumental. You see that all the time in sports where, and this is where it comes into the, Arkansas doesn't recruit anymore. They reload. They're not rebuilding, they're reloading. And that doesn't just apply with the recruits coming in, Phil. It also applies to the guys that are already on campus, to the guys that played lesser roles the year before, taking up the bigger roles, taking up more spotlight, and stepping right into it and absolutely just showing out, which is what Jack Kinley has done this year.
Well, he has shown out to the point where statistically his season could be the most impressive on the team. Let's think about that for a moment.
Say that one more time.
Jack Kenley's season could be the most impressive season statistically for this year's Arkansas baseball team. Jack Kenley has a higher batting average than Dominic Fletcher and Casey Martin. Jack Kenley owns the second highest slugging percentage on the team at .568. That's along with a .438 on-base percentage, which is the third highest on the club. If you add his OPS together, now Tye, OPS is on base plus slugging. It's just taking the on base percentage and the slugging percentage and adding it together. Mm-hmm. And for Jack, that's 1.006. Anytime your OPS is over 0.9, it's really good. When it's over 1.0, it's incredibly good. Jack Kenley has the second highest OPS on the ball club, and the only one that's higher is Trevor Ezell, which there's another guy that stepped up that nobody had heard of before the season started. So, I mean, these two newcomers have had not newcomers, but additions to the lineup on a day-to-day basis, because Jack was here for 2 years. They've had the most impressive season statistically. And a year ago, Jack Kenley did not even get on the field in the NCAA tournament. Trevor Ezell was sitting at home watching the NCAA tournament after the Southeast Missouri baseball season was over. And now they're leading the way to the College World Series.
So I was referring to championships back a little while ago, and when you have championship-level ball clubs, there's always that really good star player or two-star players. With Arkansas, it seems like you got Martin, Kerstad, Fletch, Cronin, and Campbell. It's a little different for baseball, depending on how you look at it. But these quote-unquote role players, and I'm saying role players for a guy in Jack Kinley who might, as you mentioned, be statistically have the best season on this team. You think about a guy in Robert Ory, who's on the 94-95 Houston Rockets, on a couple Spurs team and a couple Lakers team, who won 7 NBA championships. There are certain guys throughout sports history, regardless of sport, that are absolutely instrumental in those teams getting national championships, NBA championships, Super Bowls, whatever it may be. Now, they're never going to get all the glory during the season or after the season. They're not going to be the most revered person on that team in history, but they're absolutely vital to that ball club. And the two guys you just mentioned, and Jack Kinley and Trevor Ezell, they're not going to be the highest projected MLB guys. They're probably not going to have the most successful MLB careers. But if Arkansas is going to win a national championship, it's going to be because of guys like that having just spectacular seasons. One not being on campus last year and Ezell coming over, and then Jack Kinley waiting his turn and having the season he is.
Now, I think Kenley may actually turn himself into an interesting professional prospect, being a left-handed hitter who can play anywhere on the field, who has this year shown legitimate power, and he's fast enough on the bases to create some havoc. He's got some baseball instincts. I don't know. And for Ezell, I feel terrible because I feel like he's really limited to first base because of his throwing arm and the issues that he's had with his shoulder. But the height at 5'8", you just don't see a lot of 5'8" first basemen in Major League Baseball. But you do see a lot of guys that look like Jack Kenley that play a lot of different positions. I think he'll be an interesting guy to watch in the Tigers organization. By the way, I want to tell you about Rhodes Chevrolet. For over 80 years, Rhodes Chevrolet has been a name that you can trust. Rhodes has always been dependable in the car buying and car owning experience. From the first time you walk into their showroom, you're treated like family. As part of the family-owned dealership and service department that has served the River Valley for over 8 decades. You'll find your next dependable vehicle today at Rhodes Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren, or at RhodesChevy.com. They've been dependable since 1934. Lots of College World Series talk live from Omaha. We're here on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson. Follow Follow them on Twitter at Phil Elson PXP and at Tye Sports Radio.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, the Xerox authorized agency and dealer in the River Valley. The 29 new models of Xerox business printers and copiers represent a quantum leap forward in office technology. They are designed for the way we work today, safely and securely. They're powered by Xerox Connect Key technology. They're innovative and affordable with both black and white and color devices available. For more information, give Dixie Digital a call at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing Xerox document innovations to the River Valley.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Evans Body Shop is ready to get your vehicle spiffed up for all the fun activities and trips that come along with the summer. Spend your days at the pool, not worrying about getting your car fixed. We'll do that for you. We will work with you and your insurance company to make the entire process easy. Follow us on Facebook so that you won't miss your chance to win Parrot Island tickets throughout the summer. Stop in today, 412 Gordon Avenue, Van Buren, and you'll see why we say
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Want to have more than your average home? D&D Flooring is a simple choice. You can choose to have excellent customer service and design assistance with D&D Flooring. Wood, vinyl, carpet, to beautiful window treatments, professional installation every time. 0 financing options available. Come see D&D Flooring large showroom and selections. D&D Flooring, serving the River Valley and surrounding areas. 1323 Main Street, Van Buren, or call 474-0533.
The law offices of Andrea Stone Hanna, PLLC, are proud supporters of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Call them today before your soon-to-be ex does. Andrea Stone Hanna and David L. Powell promise to do whatever they can to assist and support you, your family, and your business when you face the toughest legal challenges you could possibly encounter. For divorce, custody, and all family law or criminal matters, call Andrea or David today at 479-242-5874 and request a consultation. Contact them today at AndreaHannahLaw.com or call 479-242-5874.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hinton. You asked, and we listened. New financing options available now at Champ Hinton Enterprises. Can you believe payments starting at $150 a month? 5-minute credit approvals and 0 down with trade-ins. Come find out for yourself why we have been serving families in the River Valley for over 38 years with over 35,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs sold. We treat you like family. Champ Hinton Enterprises, I-540 at the Arcoma exit or champhinton.com.
What's up, everybody? This is John Neighbors from the Morning Rush, and the Razorbacks are back in Omaha for the College World Series. We at ESPN 95.3 want you to come watch all the action with us at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every Hog game at Joe's will have half-price apps and taps, the game on all their TVs, a great atmosphere, and my personal favorite, all the chips and salsa you can eat. So come watch the Hogs in Omaha this Saturday at Joe's Grill and Cantina at 3400 South 74th Street in Fort Smith. Hogs by 90.
Halftime is brought to you by 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Upgrade your evening on the Avenue. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
High fly ball to right field, way back. There it goes to the fence and out of here. 2-run jack by Matt Goodhart makes it 5-0. Back on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. Excited about tomorrow's show, which is going to be live at T. Henry's Pub on 11th Street in Omaha. That's at 318 South 11th Street in Omaha. We'll be giving out gift certificates while we are there. I actually ate across the street from T. Henry's yesterday. Texted to their owners. We're going to meet later on and get the get the place scoped out and maybe look at the menu a little bit early and figure out what I'm going to tempt you with tomorrow, Ty.
No drinking while you're down there.
Hey, we don't have a game tomorrow night. We don't have anything else to worry about. There's just the on-field set. There's just the opening ceremonies.
As soon as that clock strikes 2, you can drink. Just no drinking on the show. That's
2?
Yeah.
Are you serious? It'll be 12 o'clock, man. It's 12 o'clock means it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5
right?
o'clock somewhere. I actually got a text from Jack.
On a Friday.
I actually got a text from Jackie, one of their owners. She's like, hey, what do Arkansas fans like to drink? And I was like, Busch and Bud Light. I was like, Busch is the number one selling Busch in Arkansas, Bud Light, and then Arkansas fans, I feel like, for the most part, aren't tricky. If there's a good brew, they'll drink it. I'm sure there'll be plenty of Arkansas fans that make the trip, and you're gonna get a lot of baseball questions tomorrow, Phil. So just be ready for that.
Well, I certainly would anticipate that. So if you are coming up from parts across Arkansas to Omaha later today, or maybe if you get here by 12 o'clock tomorrow, come on over to T. Henry's Pub, 318 South 11th Street, downtown Omaha. It's right there at the start of Old Town, really just a few blocks away from the stadium and kind of right in the heart of everything. So looking forward to seeing those smiling, shining faces before everything gets started tomorrow. Also, there's a lot of watch parties that you can look for across your area, but we've got one to point you to at Joe's Grill and Cantina. That's Saturday night starting at 4 o'clock. You going to be there, Ty?
I will be. So John's going to be doing the pregame from 4 to 5:30, and as soon as it's over, I'll be heading my way, getting some half-price apps and taps. It's going to be a good time. I'm really excited. We got the posters. I don't know if the posters is what you call them. Banners is probably the better term for them. Up yesterday. Wade helped us out with that. So really excited. We're going to be at Joe's Grill and Cantina for every single game here. And I'm probably I get to do it. I'm excited about that because I'll get half-price apps and taps the whole rest of the way, Phil. And I will probably need to run a bunch after this College World Series.
Well, I think I may have to do the same thing. I spent way too much time running last year while we were here, and now my knees don't let me do it as much. So I'm going to enjoy the food of Omaha, which there are all sorts of great places to eat downtown here. And there's an axe-throwing place down the street. I read about this thing. There's a 2-drink. Did we talk about this on the show a few months ago?
I don't know if you told me there was a 2-drink minimum. There's a 2-drink minimum?
No, I think it's a 2-drink maximum.
Oh.
I think that needs to go with the whole idea of firing in really sharp objects that can cut down a tree, even though these aren't axes that are that large.
You know, you have to sign a waiver as soon as you enter saying, quote unquote, you're not going to sue them if an axe chops your arm off or hits you in the head. It's a very interesting concept, but people seem to flock to it.
We're about to go to Kendall Rogers from D1Baseball.com. D1 Baseball put out their first, second, and third team All-America list. They did announce Adley Rutschman as the player of the year, making a lot of sense. Rutschman, the switch-hitting catcher from Oregon State, was the first overall pick in the draft by Baltimore, and pretty much was going to win this no matter what, the sort of season he had. .411 batting average with 17 homers. His on-base percentage was nearly .600, .575. That's ridiculous. 3 Razorbacks did make the teams. None on the first team. Isaiah Campbell on the second team, joining Nick Lodolo, Emerson Hancock, and Jake Agnos, plus TJ Sikkema. So there were 3 SEC pitchers on that second team All-America list. And then we let you know about Jack Kenley, picked as the second baseman on the third team. And that's the same team that Matt Cronin was listed to. So 3 Razorbacks get on there, and that's always good to see. That's something we'll talk about with Kendall Rogers as well when the editor of D1Baseball.com joins us on halftime. This is ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com.
No hidden agendas on this program. You're listening to Halftime.
Get a $100 Visa gift card when you sign up for Dish this Father's Day weekend with World of Wireless.
Sign up for the all-new Hopper 3 and get Dish service installed this weekend with promotional pricing guaranteed for 2 years. Your rate will not change, and we're going to throw in a $100 Visa gift card and the free voice remotes and some free movie channels this weekend. But you got to call 877-305-DISH.
Plus, Dad gets to lock in the price for 2 long years when you call WOW now.
2-year price guarantee. Your rate will not go up. Rates less than $60 a month, guaranteed for 2 years with the DVR service included. But you got to call WOW now and ask about the $100 Visa gift card and the free voice remote.
Plus, you can get installation within the next 48 hours, and that $100 Visa gift card, Dad can buy anything he wants as his own Father's Day gift to himself.
That's right. Just call World of Wise or come by the corner of Phoenix and Rogers Avenue and celebrate Father's Day specials this weekend with Dish.
All right, World of Wireless, your local Dish dealer, 877-305-DISH. Happy Father's Day from World of Wireless, 877-305-3474.
At Michelob Ultra, we know it's not just about how much you work out every day. It's about how much you work into every day, too. So we brew our beer for those who realize that expending calories should never come at the expense of spending time with friends. Those who understand that just because you work out doesn't mean you can't go out. And that's why we brew Michelob Ultra to have 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and a crisp, clean taste. Michelob Ultra, brewed for those who live fit, live fun, live ultra. Enjoy responsibly. 2018 Michelob Ultra Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, 0.6 grams of protein, and 0 grams fat for 12 ounces.
Do you love crab legs? Like you could eat your weight in crab legs? Kind of love them? Then get to the Catfish Kitchen in Van Buren every Tuesday night for all you can eat crab legs from 4 till 8. All the meaty, delicious crab legs you can hold. Plus all the fixins like coleslaw, beans, and the best hush puppies. Plus your drink, dessert, and ice cream are all included. It's only $44.95. That's all you can eat crab legs every Tuesday night from 4 till 8 at Catfish Kitchen, 727 Fayetteville Road at the top of Logtown Hill, across from the police station in Van Buren.
It's time for summer fun and Prestigious Pool Care is ready. All outdoor furniture in stock is half price. That's right, half price. Get 20% off all pool toys and floats. Prestigious Pool Care will keep you safe with free water testing. Just bring them a sample. And if your pool needs some help, Prestigious Pool Care has the products to assure safe swimming. Need extra storage to free up some space? There are only a few units left for rent. Prestigious Pool Care and storage makes summer fun. Bring your pool water to 9900 Highway 71 South or call for more information at 648-1213.
Edwards Auto Center in Roland has a newly remodeled facility with a greater selection of vehicles, and you will enjoy a relaxed, no-pressure sales experience. If your credit score has been an issue, Edwards' signature Buy Here, Pay Here program is a part of their superior customer service. Some restrictions may apply. Edwards has helped folks achieve their dreams of auto ownership and provided quality used vehicles for more than 30 years. Visit the newly remodeled Edwards Auto Center 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge. The first car dealer on the right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Live from Omaha.
You gotta fight for your right to party.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
1-2 pitch. Struck him out swinging. Jacob Kostychuk strikes out the side. A fashionable way to send the Razorbacks to the Super Regionals for the second year in a row. Well, now they're in Omaha for the second year in a row. That's where we are doing our show live from the downtown Omaha Hilton Doubletree, overlooking TD Ameritrade Park, where later tonight it's the Detroit Tigers and the Kansas City Royals. Major League Baseball coming in here, although right now both teams sometimes got AAA records. Let's talk with Kendall Rogers, editor and publisher, D1Baseball.com. Kendall, how many years in Omaha in a row is this for you?
This is like 14 for me, so it's actually funny. I was just talking to the Uber driver here, and he asked me if this was my first time. I said, man, first time. I said, this is my 14th trip to be out here for 2 weeks. So my early summer vacation has always been Omaha. There's a lot worse places to go on vacation in June than Omaha.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, it's funny, too. I remember the song about coming back home to Omaha, and I know it's got to feel like that for you. It feels like that for teams that are coming here, but there's just, I don't know another city that's got a special relationship with the sport of baseball like Omaha does. It's kind of like a Cooperstown sort of a way. You know what I mean?
There's no doubt. I mean, I kind of wrote about this in our CBS preview, but every time I come here, you see a lot of the same faces, and it's just a great place to come back to. I always tell people as well, if you're ever looking for a true kind of Americana experience, the College World Series is perfect. You look at all the different types of people that come here to follow the tournament. You look at the fathers and sons all over the place, the teams from all over the country. It's just a great event, and I can't say enough about the job this city does with it.
So there can't be a better story, at least to open up the College World Series, than Dave Van Horn's team against Mike Martin's team. It would be good enough if it was just Florida State versus Arkansas in Omaha, but when you add in the two legendary head coaches with the combined trips to Omaha right now, I think at 20 or 21, and both looking for their first national title, with this as Martin's last year, to me, there's so many other stories to pay attention to, but that's at the top of the list.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, you look at the job that Florida State has done here the last couple of weeks. I mean, we've all seen Georgia, and for those guys to go dominate Georgia and go on the road at Baton Rouge, I just thought there were so many times in that Super Regional to where you're thinking like, okay, LSU's about to make a run, and it just never happened. And I think Florida State, they're getting big hits in big situations. All of a sudden, the rotation is coming together. The bullpen, Antonio Velez against LSU last weekend was awesome. So just all the little things that you need to do to not only get to Omaha, but to win in Omaha, Florida State's starting to do. So they kind of look like this magical club right now. We'll see if it continues here. And, of course, when you look at the Hogs, it was almost kind of a mirror image, I felt like, of that South Carolina Super Regional last year against, this past weekend. I think when you look at the first game going the Hogs' way, the second game was kind of like a throwaway game. Dave Van Horn would never call it that, but it was kind of one of those throwaway type of games. Once they got down, they just weren't trying that hard to come back. They were looking ahead. Then the series finale, they go out there and do what they always do offensively. And so this Arkansas team is going to come here, and they're going to go out, they're going to have fun between games, and they're going to have fun doing all the local stuff. But, boy, this is a team that's going to come here on a mission. They felt like when they went home last year, they had some unfinished business. And so I think this team's going to be ready to roll.
You'd mentioned about how the bullpen pitched in the postseason so far, and it looks to me Florida State's got the kind of lineup that can do some damage. Although they're facing maybe the hottest pitcher in the sport right now in Isaiah Campbell, but their bullpen was the difference, so much so in that super regional. And I mean, in the postseason, their pen has allowed 2 runs in 16 innings. They've been a little bit of a roller coaster, though. To me, the bullpen for them will be a key because Parrish doesn't pitch more than about 4 to 5 innings. There's a lot of lefties there for Mike Martin to work with. I think it'll be interesting the way he uses them.
No, you're right. And the thing is the two keys. I was talking to a coach going into the super regional. He said the two keys when you look at Florida State is their defense and their pitching, primarily their bullpen. He said there are times this year where their defense has kind of let them down, and obviously they've lost a lot of games because of that. But you look back at the LSU series, they had the one error in a key situation by Nander DeSadas. But other than that, they really, really played great defense. Mike Salvatore at shortstop did a nice job. And so guess what? They played defense. They won that game. And you look at the bullpen, the job that Antonio Velez did. Chase Haney's done a really nice job for them in some spots in the postseason. So there are a lot of things to like right now about what Florida State's doing. But this is a tough matchup. I do think Arkansas is a better team than LSU, just a deeper and just better overall team. So this is a much tougher test. But they're playing well right now. Give them a lot of credit.
Live from the College World Series, Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, joins us here on Halftime. Kendall, Phil and I got into a little bit of a disagreement yesterday concerning the freshman pitching staff for Arkansas.
Yeah.
He said there's a possibility that it could be a concern. I think the freshman pitching is concerned. He pointed out some good facts. Wicklander had a good outing against Auburn, a College World Series team, and a couple others. You've seen Nolan and Wicklander show up, but they have been inconsistent.
Yeah.
And you expect that as freshmen. For you, is freshman pitching a concern heading into the College World Series for the Razorbacks?
It's definitely a concern. I think when you look at this stage, I think we all feel great about Arkansas's offense. I think we all feel great about Isaiah Campbell. I think you look at the bullpen and the job those guys have done. I think we all feel good about those parts. Look at Connor Nolan struggling last week. Patrick Wicklander has been a guy that's been a little up and down. That is a little worrisome. I think when you get on the stage, especially whenever, if you don't win, your season's over, it kind of magnifies things. It makes things a little bit more pressure packed. And so I don't know if concern's the right word, or I guess it'd be the kind of the uncertainty of the situation is probably the more accurate description here. But, both those guys, I mean, there was a point in time this year where Connor Nolan was throwing really, really well. There was a point in time where Patrick Wicklander was throwing really, really well. So those two guys have it in them. And if they go out there and they pitch pretty good for the most part, Arkansas has a chance to not only get through this thing, but they can win the national championship. I have zero doubt.
Kendall, you mentioned this is your 14th College World Series. I'm going to let you play. I'm going to let you play salesman for a sec for the Arkansas fans who are listening, who are on the fence about going. Why is the College World Series worth the trip?
I just think you just look at everything all wrapped into one. If you look at like the Final Four and the College Football National Championship, those are incredible events. Those are as good as, to me, that in college sports, it's as good as it gets. But when you look at the College World Series, it's a little bit of that, but it's a lot different in a good way. Every time you come to Omaha, I feel like everybody here just embraces you. Everybody here wants you here. It's just a great environment, from the city to the people that are the leaders of the College World Series, and things like that. So, I think I've rehashed this so many times, but like, I just look at it as one of those things like, hey, if you're a fan of baseball and you're a fan of college baseball, there's no better place to go than Omaha. And the new ballpark's nice and all, but boy, I still miss the old park. I mean, if any of you guys ever went to the old park, man, you talk about just awesome, traditional, old school. It was the best. So I still miss that place, but the new one is good enough.
Do you ever make a pilgrimage to where Rosenblatt used to be? I mean, they've got like a wiffle ball field there now, and I almost feel like that's an insult.
I went once, and I honestly kind of hated it. Like I kind of enjoyed my memories being that old ballpark, and to see it turn into some little kind of rinky-dink little wiffle ball thing was kind of weird. So honestly, I haven't been back other than one time, but it was just cool. If you've been there before, it was just a neat. The stadium it was kind of the same way. And I'm not comparing it to Fenway Park, but it's kind of the same smell. Like you walked in there and just smelled old. It was kind of grungy in a few spots. And like, yeah, I know in like modern America, like you can't have a ballpark that's a little bit grungy, but it was just awesome. I really enjoyed it.
I like the term grungy when you describe a baseball park, because that definitely is.
You
Fenway.
Like that?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same way I like my beer bars, a little grungy.
Yeah, with a little flannel shirt on it. Exactly. Hey, so we see the D1 baseball All-America teams come out.
Yeah.
And this morning when I went down to sit for breakfast, I sit next to Nate Thompson, and he looks at me, he shows me his phone, and there it is. Jack Kenley, third team, and Nate's face just lit up. He absolutely lit up. I said at the start of the season, Kendall, that somebody had to step up, take their game to another level that maybe you weren't expecting. And Jack Kenley is that guy. What a season he's had.
Yeah, there's no doubt, Phil. I mean, Aaron and I were talking last night, and we were kind of laughing about the fact that Jack Kenley was an All-American. Not in a bad way, but like thinking like who in the world would have thought coming into the season that we'd have Jack Kenley as an All-American? And so that just gives you an idea of what this team has done this year. For this team to win at a high level this year, at least to a championship level, they were going to have several guys step up, and that's happened. Trevor Ezel was a guy that had a lot of production at SEMO. We all thought like, okay, can he translate that production into the SEC? He was able to do that. Matt Goodhart, a junior college transfer, hey, he was a really good JUCO player, but again, how is he going to make the transition to the SEC? He's done a great job. And then Jack Kenley, for me, to go from a guy who just had a couple of home runs his first 2 years to having double-digit bombs this year, just an incredible story, really, and honestly is kind of a poster child for what Arkansas baseball is all about. Sure, there's big-time players come in there, big-time recruits come in there, but for the most part, Arkansas baseball has been built on guys that weren't necessarily the darling recruits out there. There were guys that they developed from day one until the day they left Fayetteville. So Jack Kenley's a great story, and looking forward to seeing if he has a big Omaha.
Well, and it's also built on guys like Cody Scroggins, guys that change position,
no doubt,
get injured, miss a year, spend a whole year building back strength, and then turn into a lights-out reliever. I mean, he was the MVP for Arkansas in the Super Regional just based upon Monday's performance. And I think because of the potential uncertainty with the freshman starting pitchers, with Connor Nolan, with Patrick Wicklander, and Dave Van Horn's quick hook, which he does have sometimes, Cody Scroggins could be the most important pitcher or maybe player for Arkansas at the College World Series.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. When you look at in Omaha, such a big key is your bullpen, because you can get by here in Omaha with a couple of starters. I remember one year, I wouldn't advise it, but I remember one year Arizona won the whole thing I think they started 2 guys the whole tournament because they swept the championship series. So it kind of gives you an idea of what you can do with just 2 starters. But, the bullpen is key. Not only do you need 1 or 2 options, you need 3, 4, 5 options in this tournament. I think when you look at Arkansas with Cody Scroggins, he's a guy that, honestly, if you think back to Omaha last year, I remember, I think he topped out at 97 or 98 here in Omaha last year. We're sitting there thinking, like, whoa, where in the world did this come from? And, when I saw him earlier this year, the fastball was electric, but the slider was lacking a little bit. Now it seems like the slider is a little bit sharper. So, again, this team just has another weapon at its disposal, and that's why I have Arkansas playing for the national championship. I got Arkansas and Vandy playing for it all, and Vandy winning it. I hope for the sake of Arkansas fans they do get that far, that they do win it, because that would be tough to lose get runner-up back-to-back. But, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. I always feel like this tournament is very, very unpredictable, and I think it's even more the case this year because I think really, other than Auburn, I honestly think any of these teams can win it all.
Kendall, we really appreciate your expertise, especially talking to us, I think, right as you landed. Hope you enjoy the College World Series, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at TD Ameritrade Park.
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you here for the next 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks?
That's right. I packed for 11. Right, I'm planning on doing laundry.
You got it, brother. Be good.
Okay,
be good.
You got it. That's Kendall Rogers, editor and publisher of D1Baseball.com. You heard it right there from him. And when he says things like this, he comes really close to it, or he's right. Arkansas v. Vandy in the College World Series Championship Series. Hey, tonight, great night before the College World Series really gets going with the NBA Finals in game number 6. Great place to watch. It would be 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge at 906 Garrison in Fort Smith. Everything from the time you walk through the front doors has been designed to impress, with top-shelf wines and liquors and world-class cigars and comfy, oversized leather chairs, plus an air recycling system. Stop by on the Avenue, see what it's all about. That's 906 Garrison in Fort Smith, 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. We'll be wrapping up the first hour of halftime next. This is ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com.
No hidden agendas on this program. You're listening to Halftime.
Massey Ferguson tractors have arrived at Bush Machine & Tractor. Bush Machine & Tractor is proud to be the newest Massey Ferguson dealer in western Arkansas, providing you with a full lineup of versatile Massey Ferguson tractors. They're built with straightforward power, smart fuel economy, and upgraded control and comfort. Stop by and find a new Massey Ferguson perfectly sized to fit your property or farm at Bush Machine & Tractor, 7301 South 0 Street in Fort Smith, or visit us online at bushtractor.com.
Did someone say, I'm hungry? Visit 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on the Avenue. Try the new panini sandwiches, like the chicken pyro or the Cubana, or the signature 906 wings. Jumbo wings roasted with honey bacon jam. Want some spice? Try the black and blue wings. Experience their salads, flatbreads, coffees and desserts, top shelf wines and liquors, premium beers, world-class cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a destination. Sample, indulge, escape. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Treat your appetite on the Avenue.
True Grit Running Company is where perseverance meets passion. Whether you're training for your next marathon or just comfortable shoes to keep up with your kids, we have the gear to help you reach your goals. With our slow motion gait analysis and our extensive product knowledge, we have the right pair of shoes for you. We also carry apparel, nutrition, hydration accessories, injury prevention gear, and recovery products. We offer classes, workshops, and group runs. Lace up, show up, and get your grit on. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Looking for a high-quality and affordable vehicle? Hertz Car Sales offers a wide selection of high-quality cars, SUVs, or trucks. Amazing customer services with affordable prices on every car. With inventory arriving daily, why not make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard or give them a call at 783-1722. You can also check them out on the web at buyfromhertz.com. Trade-ins are always welcome, so stop by to Hertz Car Sales today. You'll be glad you did.
Is your home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a free weatherization program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, our crews will install measures that will save you money. The services provided through this program are absolutely free to qualifying homes. If you could benefit from free home weatherization improvements, call OG&E at 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741. 4741.
It's tough out there, trying to stretch every paycheck a little further than the last one. It means cutting costs. And one of the best places to start is at the office of State Farm agent Jason Glover, because he'll do a free discount double check to make sure you're getting the car insurance discounts you deserve, up to 40%. So give State Farm agent Jason Glover a call today, because being there to help keep more of your money in your pocket is why he's here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Discounts may vary state to state. Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Advanced Mechanical Performance, your premier UTV, off-road, truck, and Jeep repair facility. Whether it's a lift kit, an oil change, or a complete makeover of your machine, go see Cody and the gang at AMP and get it right the first time. These guys know what they're doing and are doing what they know. Advanced Mechanical Performance, 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Call them today at 434-4161.
Halftime is brought to you by 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Upgrade your evening on the Avenue. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
That one's got a chance to go. Luke Bonfield has hit a home run, and the Hogs have the lead, 5-4 on Bonfield's Oppo Taco, his 8th of the season. ESPN announced the announcers for the College World Series. Our friend Tom Hart will be doing the day games, and Carl Ravitch, Kyle Peterson, Eduardo Perez, and Chris Budden are working the night game. So that means you got Ravitch, Peterson, Perez, and Budden doing the Arkansas-Florida State game. That would be Team A. Though I got to be honest, I think Tom Hart really is Team A.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Ravitch is good, MLB guy, but you and I both agree that Tom's a better college guy.
Arkansas football gaining a new wide receiver, family affair. Kendall Catalon, the older brother of 2019 secondary signee Jalen Catalon, is now transferring from Southern University, where he caught 56 passes for 758 yards and 7 touchdowns over the last 2 years. He was the leading wide receiver for Southern University. He played quarterback in high school, and that's where a lot of the Arkansas coaches got to know him, out of Texas, and has to file for immediate eligibility. So we'll find out whether or not he'll be able to join that very large group of new wide receivers for Chad Morris's club. All right, a big first hour there on halftime. Hey, for those who are planning to make the drive from Arkansas up here to Omaha, Bob Holt is on the drive right now, so we'll get an update on the traffic from him. He didn't even realize he'd be a traffic reporter, too. That's coming up during the second hour of halftime. Stick around on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
It's back, it's way back. Hello, this is Jack Dean with Road Chevy in Van Buren. Come in and hit a home run with these savings. Take home a new 2019 Silverado for as low as $29,988, or a new 2019 Chevy Trax with payments starting as low as $299 a month, or save up to $12,000 on a new 2018 Z701 Crew Cab while supplies last. Take a short drive and we'll go the extra mile for you. Road Chevrolet, exit 2A of 5540 in Van Buren. Find new road.
With approved credit, see dealer for details. It's your piece of land. Your point of pride, your place of peace and quiet. Your yard means something to you. So mow like you mean business with a professional-grade Gravely zero-turn mower. Gravely means comfort. Gravely means strength. Gravely means cutting precision. Gravely mowers mean business. Gravely, build to mow the distance.
Visit Bush Machine and Tractor, 7301 0 Street in Fort Smith, or at bushtractor.com.
Are you looking at new floors for your home, or maybe a new look in some rooms? Look no further. Woodard Carpet and Designs in Clarksville can provide the products and services to fit your needs. JT and Melissa Woodard, along with the certified staff, will help you with floors, walls, and windows, along with in-house decorating. They can carry luxury vinyl, plank, and tile, commercial carpet, Wilson Art countertops, custom area rugs, wallpaper, and custom blinds. Visit Woodard Carpet and Design at 514 West Cherry in downtown Clarksville. Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC in Charleston has doubled our pre-owned inventory, and we've got to make room so everything will fit on the lot. So now is the absolute best time to come in and get a great deal on one of our premium pre-owned vehicles at Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC in Charleston. We have everything from GM certified pre-owned vehicles to competitive make imports and domestics. Take the short drive to Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC in Charleston and drive home in your next vehicle, or visit us online at huggm.com. Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, closer than you think.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Mainly clear sky with a very slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm north tonight. And overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 50s. A beautiful Thursday ahead. Lots of sunshine, mid to upper 70s. And then Friday could dodge a few stray showers or storms across the north. High temperatures in the low to mid 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Harry Robinson Buick GMC, where you always get more for your trade. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith. You can shop anytime at harryrobinson.com.
I hate everything you just said. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bush and Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
They're hilarious.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson.
You do a fantastic job on the radio. There's no one else in this league I'd rather listen to, so keep up the good work.
And Tye Richardson.
Been doing some homework, man. I appreciate the work you're putting in. Your show is really, really good, guys.
A bright red Razorback caravan is headed to Nebraska, and this time we're coming for the whole damn thing.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Second hour halftime on what is a beautiful Thursday afternoon in downtown Omaha, Nebraska, where we are overlooking TD Ameritrade Park on the 19th floor of the Hilton Doubletree downtown Omaha. So a big mouthful there. We appreciate them getting us set up right across from the hallway where the Arkansas players were handed gift bags by the Easton Baseball Bat Company, which has been supplying Arkansas bats since Kingdom Come. And they got some really cool-looking bags, a little better than the bags I got last year. So I'm interested to see what it is I might find in my room later on. I might get one of these cool bags and maybe a couple of other things. The swag is one of the fun things about coming to the College World Series.
Bag.
Swag bag. The play, I don't expect anything. If they toss something my way, I'll be happy to walk away with it. The players are the ones that should get hooked up, and they do get hooked up. So I was glad to see them get that started. Later tonight, it's MLB in Omaha. All of the teams will be in attendance today. I don't know if they got me a ticket, actually, or if there was a ticket available for me, because they basically had like 2 tickets left after all of the players got their tickets. So I might be sneaking in. I might just watch from this window, because quite honestly, I can see half the field. So we'll see if I can look over that freeway and watch baseball later on tonight.
Do it, man. I mean, either way, you can either try and get a ticket to the game, or you can just watch it. Again, the venue and the vantage point that Phil has right now is pretty spectacular. The FOMO, not only do I have to hear about the delicious steaks that he ate last night and is going to continue to eat throughout the week, but I also have to continuously just look at where he is right now. And so my FOMO is going to be everlasting every time I come on this show.
Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow, when we actually do FOMO Friday, in exactly 24 hours, we'll be getting into it. Can we just fast forward to tomorrow? I'm excited about whatever it is I'm going to do tonight, even if I don't make it into the stadium for the game. I just like being in Omaha this time of the year. But I really can't wait to hear the hatred that's coming through your voice and over the airwaves tomorrow when you're telling me the things that you're thinking about me at that moment?
Well, it's gonna go to another level if Arkansas makes it decently far in this tournament, and not only will John leave, but the possibility of Tommy leaving as well. When I'm this sole talent, and let's big air quotes around talent, that's just the term used for sports radio guys like us, because most people would say I'm not that talented. That being said, when everyone here from the talent point of view is not here and up in Omaha, Nebraska, then my blood's really going to boil, and then I'm really going to get jealous, and then I may or may not just not show up that day because I'll be so blistering angry, and then just get fired. So this could be the end of the road for us, Phil.
That'll be the end of the show. That'll be it. It will end in spectacular fashion.
Go out with a bang.
All right, well, that's tomorrow for our FOMO. But today, it's a Thursday, and we have our halftime homework done.
As if.
I don't trust this kid any further than I can throw him.
I got a question. Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Get out of my class. Out! Get out!
I was still thinking of going back to school.
I do my homework now.
The millennial versus the middle-aged. It's time for halftime homework.
So Tye had me watch an episode of Suits. You asked me to watch the first 20 minutes of the first episode, and I didn't even realize that the pilot episode is an hour and 12 minutes long.
It's that long?
It is an hour and 12 minutes long.
I apologize. I thought it was like 40 or 50 minutes.
That's okay. Most of the episodes are 40 to 43 minutes long, which is just about what you expect from an hour-long television show, but the pilot was an hour and 12 minutes long. I watched about the first 40 minutes of it and fell asleep. It's okay. It's It's entertaining to a point. The high-powered lawyer closer thing can be a little overdone sometimes. The confidence that one of the lead character, not the lead character, but the guy that he's essentially trying to work for.
Yeah, Harvey Specter.
It gets a little much sometimes. It's a character that I don't know if I'm interested in very much.
Okay.
The kid is a little interesting. The one who is kind of like Good Will Hunting to a point. Brilliant but ne'er-do-well, without the violent aspect of Good Will Hunting. It's okay. Again, I don't know if I really care about the characters to take it much farther than the 40 minutes that I watched before I fell asleep in the room last night. But I did the halftime homework. I did put effort into watching this show. It just didn't keep me awake.
Hey, listen, man. I want you to always be open and honest when I give you something to watch or give you something to research, whatever we end up participating in this segment. So for you to tell me that, I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little sad because that's one of my favorite shows. I hope a lot of our listeners have gotten to watch the show Suits, and I'm trying to convince Tommy to watch it. We'll see if that ends up happening, but I love it, and but I'm not gonna wish any ill will towards you because you don't like it.
But here's the thing, and I need to remember this too. It's the idea of like the album that you weren't quite sure the first time you listened to it. You force yourself to listen to it again. You're like, that sounded a little bit better. Than the third time you listen to it, you're completely into it. And then you basically listen to that album for a month straight.
Well, the past 2 weeks, Phil.
I think Game of Thrones was like that for a lot of people. Didn't it take a couple episodes for you to get into that show?
I'm going to be honest. I was hooked after the first episode. I can't believe I waited that long to watch it. But that being said, Phil, if I was going to choose a show for you the past 2 weeks, last week you watched an episode, the Wade Boggs episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's the one I've got to watch, that show.
No, you have to, because that comedy, that sense of humor is right up your alley. And I enjoy Suits. I like Suits more than Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But if I'm picking a show out specifically for you, it has to be Always Sunny.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's what I would go with as well.
Don't start binge watching until after the season, because I think you got a little bit of homework that's not pertaining to halftime homework. It's like prepping and stuff. And I don't want you to get preoccupied with binge watching Always Sunny before this tournament, Phil.
I will tell you this, and I found this out last year. Although there's a lot to do in Omaha, during the College World Series, if you do win your first couple of games, you get 3 days until the next game.
Yeah.
You do a little bit of sitting on your ass. So it might be okay to binge watch a series or two without really having much else to worry about.
So my halftime homework assignment is Phil mentioned this player, Ricky Henderson, about a month ago, and I had to push the generational gap button because I didn't know who it was. And I think that's a combination of me not growing up around the baseball culture and the fact that this is a guy more in Phil's era, more in his time, even though he retired, I believe, in 2003 with the Los Angeles Dodgers. So I'm going to play the first clip, his last stolen base, with Vin Scully on the call.
There goes Henderson. The throw to Helton. He guns it down to Acuna, and it's not in time as Henderson is under the tag. So Vance picks off Henderson. Corey, on that leg kick, paid the price, and Henderson got under the high throw, awfully close. And second base umpire Gary Cedarstrom saying safe, and you could see Henderson's left hand on the bag before the tag.
Phil, I watched his Hall of Fame speech this morning. It was pretty cool. I really enjoyed listening to that. He didn't sport this haircut all the time, but he sometimes had the Fresh Prince Will Smith haircut.
Oh yeah.
And I don't even know the wording for it.
Flat top.
Flat top. That was really cool. His nickname was the Man of Steel, not the Man of like STEEL, STEAL. Because he broke the Major League record.
That's what happens when you steal 1,406 bases over your career.
And let's get to that next highlight. Here's the highlight where he passed Lou Brock for the all-time stolen bases record in Major League Baseball.
Ricky goes, a pitch taken, he's going to have it. He does! Ricky Henderson, no contest, steals third base, jerks the bag from its moorings, and holds it aloft, representing number 939. Ricky pounds it with his left fist, hands it to equipment manager Frank Sinchek, who gives him a big hug. There's Ricky's mom.
Again, talking about the game being forgotten.
And Lou Brock probably the happiest guy on the field right now. He can finally make his speech, pass over the record to Ricky, and go about his business.
I'm sure a lot of you baseball fans listening have seen that highlight before. I hadn't seen it, and just the form of fashion where he just rips the base out of the ground, holds it up in front of these A's fans was just awesome. And I'm a guy that really enjoys breathtaking moments in sports, and that was one of the more iconic moments in baseball history. And the fact that I just watched it for the first time in 2019 is a little perplexing, but it was really cool nevertheless.
So a couple things that stand out about Ricky Henderson's career that don't have anything to do with statistics. One, this is a hometown guy that got to star for his hometown team for most of his career. Now, Ricky played for the Yankees, and he played for the Blue Jays, and a little for the Padres, and a little for the Mets, Boston, Dodgers, Seattle by the end of his career. But he spent most of his career, 14 of those seasons, with Oakland. He's born and raised in Oakland. That is an Oakland kid. Wanted to play for the Raiders. Probably could have if he had focused on football. That's how great of an athlete he was.
And his mom ushered him towards playing baseball because she didn't want him to get hurt.
Ricky also is the greatest player in the history of the sport who threw left-handed and batted right-handed.
See, that was a characteristic that I found that was just so odd to me because I think about the different, just everything I do sports-wise. It's all right-handed. Now, again, I'm not that out of the box. I'm pretty normal when it comes to sports. I have a buddy who plays everything right-handed, but golf's left-handed. And I think that's very weird to see that.
Now, my father is a little bit like this.
Okay.
My dad is, people joke, they say you're amphibious. But really what he is, my father's a dentist. He does all of his dentistry left-handed. His hand motions, he writes left-handed. He eats left-handed. His arm motions are righty. He bats right-handed. He's 70 years old. He still pitches hardball, real baseball. He's a right-handed pitcher and a right-handed thrower. If he were to kick, it would be with his right foot. I'm all right-handed. I can barely even pick my nose with my left hand. And that sometimes gets a little dangerous. But to see, now there are a lot of baseball players who throw right-handed but bat left-handed. Because there's a considerable advantage by being a left-handed batter, because there are so many more right-handed pitchers. So that's why usually you'll see a lot of kids will want to bat left-handed. And there is a disadvantage to being a left-handed thrower or a left-handed position player because they're not going to put you behind the plate. You're not going to play any infield position except for first base. But I don't even know of another player that I can think of that threw left-handed and batted right-handed and then turned it into a Hall of Fame career and the greatest leadoff hitter of all time in Ricky Henderson.
That was an oddity for me, but as evidenced by his career, it worked for him, and it worked well. He just cool facts about him. He married his high school sweetheart, Pamela, which I thought was kind of cool. And one of the things I brought up to Phil before the show, we were talking about him eating all these glorious steaks and food in Omaha. And I asked, well, are you using your per diem? He's like, no, I'm not doing that. And so I asked, well, why don't you give it to your kids? Because what Ricky Henderson was reportedly used to do is he would save up all his per diem money and put it in a box. And when his kids did well in school, he would let them pick out any envelope for that box. I just think that's a cool thing. And I was given an allowance growing up. It was the same, and it rose when I got older, and I kind of had to start doing more chores and stuff. But I just thought that was kind of a really cool factor and a really cool thing that would occur in his life with his children.
Well, the other thing he was known for is for referring to himself in the third person, more than anybody in the history of the world, probably.
And what do I always tell you when it comes to people who have a little arrogance and cockiness about them? And this is in any profession. You can have that as long as you back it up. And his career, his highlights, what he was able to do on the baseball field, he was exactly that. That's why I love Larry Bird so much. That's why I love Michael Jordan so much. That's why, I mean, Deion Sanders would kind of be like, you mentioned him being a former Florida State guy. That was a guy that loved saying prime time, talk trash. I don't mind that. But if you're going to do that, be aware of the repercussions if you fail, and be aware you better back it up or you're going to get it the other way.
He had the kind of style that you really, if you were going to back it up, then you could have that style. The way he would catch a fly ball sometimes, he would smack his glove on his thigh and then reach up and snatch it out of midair. Not like, you know how fielders would put the glove up, wait for a moment, let the ball come into it, and just catch it. Ricky would just boom, 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 snatch it out of midair, and it was only Ricky could catch fly balls like that. I think he dropped one once, though, and still, it wasn't going to change his style. The other thing he would do is when he would hit a home run, it's like a whole other way of pimping a home run. He had all of these gold chains, a lot of gold chains around his neck sometimes when he would play in the late 80s. I remember this. He'd hit a home run, and he would start like flicking the chains in a certain way as he was going towards first base, just pulling at them a certain way. I mean, there was just only Ricky Henderson had this kind of style. It just stood apart. And I got a tweet from a listener here that reminds me of his neon green Mizuno batting gloves that he rocked. Justin Miller tweets he wanted those neon green Mizuno batting gloves that Ricky rocked when he was a kid. He was so entertaining to watch on the field and then just listen to off the field. He's one of a kind.
And I remember Jalen Rose talking about in the Fab Five documentary the baggy shorts and how they were just kind of looked at as icons. And you can look at like guys in 2005 on USU. It's Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart. There's certain guys that not only are icons for their just city as a whole and their surrounding communities with their football, basketball, baseball, whatever. But when you affect a culture, when you affect a nation, like it seems like Ricky Henderson did with his sense of style and his persona, that's when you know you've done something. That's when you know that you're getting to a point where you're not going to be having to pay for much. And I guess the last thing we got to touch on, Phil, for him is the $1 million check that you mentioned, I believe last week, that he framed that was devalued because of inflation. Was it the signing bonus? Was that correct?
I don't remember what it was, honestly.
That is
It might have been for breaking the stolen base record.
That's unfathomable to me. I would rather like just to think about me being like if Tommy were to walk in right now after the show, hey, you've done a great job, son. Here's $1 million bonus check for all the work you put in. You know where I'd go?
$1,000 bonus. Come on.
1,000, yeah. 100. You know what I'd do with that? I'd drive straight to the bank. I'd drive straight to the bank at the South Regions. I'd stick it in the ATM and I'd deposit that sucker. Only he, and there's probably another athlete or two that I'm not thinking about that would possibly do this, but that is just an incredible story about Ricky Henderson. It really sums him up, kind of like you mentioned last week.
So you know what else is a great story, Ty?
You're going to tell me.
Oh, you think I'm talking about the St. Louis Blues? No, not at all. I know they stole this song as their fired up song for their fans to sing after every win. I'm talking about Flashdance. That's a great story. Probably even better than the story of the St. Louis Blues winning their first ever Stanley Cup. It is the story, my friend Tye, of Alex, a beautiful young lady who dreams of a dance career. But she is also a welder inside the city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And she has bigger dreams. And it's from the movie that you're going to be forced to watch sometime in the next 6 days. And I'm also going to force you to listen to the soundtrack, which is great music. Interestingly enough, Gloria is not on the soundtrack of Flashdance, which is probably more known for this song. Tye, do you know this song?
I've seen this in a TV show or movie because the guy does the fingers and he goes really fast, and I can't think of what it's from.
It's from Flashdance.
I know that, but it's in something else that I've seen that I can't think of.
Well, I'll give you the name of the song briefly here in a moment, okay? This is She's a Maniac by Michael Sambello, and it is from the most iconic scene of one of the most iconic movies of the 1980s. She's also an exotic dancer who does some pretty interesting routines during the movie. Tye, you weren't around in the 1980s. You didn't know about the leg warmer craze. You didn't know about the aerobics craze. Kind of a lot of this stuff started with Flashdance.
Is this like a Dirty Dancing, High School Musical combined? Like, what am I?
No, I wouldn't call it. It's not cheesy like High School Musical in a sense that it means to be cheesy. It just is now after all these years. This was the most popular movie of 1983. And the soundtrack spawned 2 number-1 songs. And the movie, it broke records. It starts Jennifer Beals, who I don't know if she was, I mean, she still is an actress, but never hit it like as big as she did when she played the lead character on Flashdance.
Okay.
Michael Nouri is her love interest and her boss at the steel mill of all places where she works. So I'm asking you to watch Flashdance, which is really, when you go back and look at the reviews now, it's terribly reviewed all these years later. But the music is iconic. The dance scenes are iconic. And I feel like if you're going to learn about the 1980s, which is partially what Halftime Homework is about, you got to know Flashdance. So enjoy, my friend.
I can't wait. It seems like that this is going to be really enjoyable. And I say that very much sarcastically, since Phil told me before the segment that I was going to hate what I'm about to watch. But nevertheless, because I'm a good student, I'm going to follow through on the assignment. Phil, for you, I'm not going to make you watch one of their movies, but you've given me a couple of your team heartthrobs over the years, whether it's Ali Sheedy, Elle McPherson, just kind of some girls that you grew up with as like icons that you were bewildered with, or whatever the phrase you want to put there. It is Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen's birthday. Now, they were, you might
they're from Full House.
Yeah, they played Michelle on Full House, and that's, I guess you could say that's more your generation than mine, but I grew up watching Full House, loved that. But they were the teen heartthrobs when I was growing up. That was like a big deal. So your job is to just kind of research and why they were like that, why they were so beloved, why it seemed like every guy my age in America was all over that, or we're just so infatuated with them. And it was funny. I'm not going to be mean and make you watch the New York Minute or something like that, one of their teen pop movies that you would absolutely despise me for and might, after the College World Series, come up to Fort Smith and punch me in the face. But I do want you to do a little research on them and come back with me with a small report.
All right, sounds good. Before we go to the break, remind you about Rhodes Chevrolet. For over 80 years, Rhodes has been a name that you can trust. Rhodes has always been dependable in the car buying and car owning experience. From the first time you walk into their showroom, you're treated like family. Part of their family-owned dealership and service department, they've been serving the River Valley for over 8 decades. Find your next dependable vehicle today at Rhodes Chevrolet at 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren, or at RhodesChevy.com. Rhodes Chevrolet, dependable since 1934. Halftime continues after the break on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com.
No hidden agendas on this program. You're listening to Halftime.
World Class Fitness in Fort Smith is not like other gyms. Open 24/7 so you can work out however, whenever you want. With women's only workout area, free childcare, racquetball courts, and large free weight area, this is the gym for you. World Class Fitness is not that gym. There are no limitations to your goals, gains, or success. No contract and special discount pricing options available. So visit WCFit.com or stop by World Class Fitness today. Don't forget to try clean cooking for your meal prep needs.
This is Mark Hurst. How important is new technology? That's a question I was recently asked by a student at a career day presentation at a local school. At Hurst Family Dental Care, we use new technology like digital x-rays, an iTero scanner instead of those messy impressions, and an Invisalign outcome simulator which can show you within minutes how Invisalign can straighten your teeth. Give us a call at 474-1972 and let us show you how new technology makes a difference in the way we are able to care for you. Hurst Family Dental Care, a name you know and a name you can trust.
Chalupas, tamales, and refried beans. The freshest tortillas that you'll ever eat. Authentic, delicious, we all can agree. It's the real taste of Mexican food.
Juan's Mexican Restaurant is bringing back Taco Tuesday. All summer long, dollar tacos every Tuesday from 11 until 2 and 5 till 7. 3 per person dine in and 3 per carry out. So bring the whole family and enjoy Taco Tuesday at Juan's.
The real taste of Mexican food.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Call them at 479-997-2366 or log on to BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Tommy Kraft for the Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, the Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, controlled access, and card readers. Call the Fence Man for a quick, no obligations quote. 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Did someone say, I'm hungry? Visit 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on the Avenue. Try the new panini sandwiches like the Chicken Pyro or the Cubana or the signature 906 wings. Jumbo wings roasted with honey bacon jam. Want some spice? Try the black and blue wings. Experience their salads, flatbreads, coffees and desserts, top shelf wines and liquors, premium beers, world-class cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a destination. Sample, indulge, escape. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Treat your appetite on the Avenue.
Edwards Auto Center in Roland has a newly remodeled facility with a greater selection of vehicles, and you will enjoy a relaxed, no-pressure sales experience. If your credit score has been an issue, Edwards' signature Buy Here, Pay Here program is a part of their superior customer service. Some restrictions may apply. Edwards has helped folks achieve their dreams of auto ownership and providing quality used vehicles for more than 30 years. Visit the newly remodeled Edwards Auto Center 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on the right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is John Neighbors of The Morning Rush. Be sure to join The Morning Rush live from Leavenworth Cafe all next week in Omaha during the College World Series. We're going to be only 2 miles away from TD Ameritrade Park. The address is 2419 Leavenworth Street. We'll be giving away gift cards all week long during The Morning Rush, so Hog fans, be sure to stop on by. Again, come see The Morning Rush live from the College World Series in Omaha at the Leavenworth Cafe every day next week from 6 to 9 a.m.
Halftime is brought to you by 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Upgrade your evening on the Avenue. Live from Omaha, you're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
Henley hits a ground ball to first base. Coming home, Washington. The throw to the plate. He dives in. He's safe. Great head first slide by Curtis Washington Jr. And Arkansas leads 5-3.
Back on Halftime, ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. Phil Elson, Tye Richardson, got Bob Holt coming up in a couple of segments. Don't forget to join me tomorrow at T. Henry's. I'll be live, really just a few blocks away from the College World Series Stadium. T. Henry's Pub from 12 to 2. 318 South 11th Street in Omaha. We'll be giving out gift certificates. It's less than half a mile away from TD Ameritrade Park. Be heading over there in a little bit. I'm going to post a video from T. Henry's and get a look at that menu and see what else we can get into trouble with. They actually they serve alcohol at games at TD Ameritrade Park. I went to a couple of games last year and as a fan, and they sell beer. It's pretty good beer. There are local beers. I don't remember if they were mixed drinks. I don't think there were, but there was beer and wine available for sale, which now, of course, you can get across the SEC, depending on if the schools choose to do so. I forgot to write it down. Didn't one of the schools announce they won't be selling those in seating areas? Did I see it was Georgia, perhaps?
So I think it's Georgia has already come out and said they're not going to do it. I think it's been reported about Alabama and Auburn, but I haven't seen the full list when it comes to SEC schools deciding to or not to, and I guess that kind of gets to another point. And I'll ask you first, Phil. I'll let you answer this first. In the first season that this is allowed, Hunter Yurchek's got a lot of different things in his first or second year. He's been doing whether it's Nolan Court, whether it's Eddie Sutton in the basketball arena. Like, there's been a lot of things he's done. He's not afraid to take a step forward. Do you think in the first year that this is possible that Hunter Yurchek and the Arkansas Athletic Administration decide to sell alcohol inside Bud Walton and then Donald W. Reynolds publicly? You do?
Yes,
okay.
I do. I do think it'll happen. And I'm not giving you any insight into anything I've heard or been told.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
No, I really haven't. I haven't heard a thing about it. It's my own opinion. And you know how I felt about it. If you're going to sell it in the suites, you should sell it in the seats. Let's be equitable about all this here. And, I also do, I have heard, not from anybody at Arkansas, but from other departments, and I know that a lot of people have pointed to the thought that the reason that administrations want to sell alcohol is because it's a moneymaker. And I've been told it's a huge moneymaker that you could tell a noticeable bump in the bottom line for some of these facilities when it comes to selling alcohol in the seats. So that will be one of the things that they think about, I think, once the decision is made.
And I can't remember if this was an ESPN.com study or maybe it was Harvard. I'm forgetting the study, but they found at West Virginia there was actually, the research provided actually proved that there was less binge drinking when they started selling alcohol in Morgantown. Now, again, that's not going to be the case. That's an on-case basis. You can't say that applies to everything, but at least you have some data there that would show that you could actually not, it would be safer to sell alcohol. And that sounds weird saying, but at least from the research and data shown, you could say that.
Tye, before we go to the break, though, you need to tell them what's going on at Art's Barbecue and Burgers. I was thinking about Art's today because they've got that special bacon. And as you know, I've talked about road bacon and hotel bacon and how special that can be. We had some good bacon at the Hilton Doubletree this morning for breakfast, but it doesn't even come close to touching what you'll get at Art's.
No, it doesn't at all. Dollar Off Burgers on Saturday. They're going to have the catfish special tomorrow for lunch, and then the all-you-can-eat for dinner tomorrow night. I feel weird during this week, but it is a Thursday, so just wanted to clarify on that. The Art Attack Burger, you got the spectacular bacon you were talking about, an onion ring, ham. I like to throw their spicy barbecue sauce on it, all the fixings, a mound of fresh-cut fries. And I'm telling you, with these fries, you don't get a small little portion. Wade and the guys over there make sure that you are filled to the brim with piping hot French fries. Their ranch is fantastic. I'm partial to that. They have really good apps, too. Phil and I always get an appetizer when we go there. Art's Barbecue and Burgers across from Aaron's off Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Bob Holt's on his way up. He is the sports reporter, of course, from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. He's going to be the traffic reporter as well as halftime continues on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
No hidden agendas on this program. You're listening to Halftime.
For almost 70 years, Crabtree RV in Alma has been helping people in the River Valley get out and enjoy the great outdoors. And that tradition continues today with our brand new body shop, a first-class service department, and a friendly staff to help you choose from the top brands in the industry. So put away the devices and get out this summer to enjoy all that the natural state has to offer. With a little help from Crabtree RV in Alma, where your family's dreams come true.
Are you ready to experience that new car smell? At Williams Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Stigler, Oklahoma, we are excited to put you in the driver's seat. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to our exceptional customer service. Williams Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram sales staff is here to answer your questions related to our inventory, service, parts, financing, and more. See us at 1100 East Main Street or give us a call, 888-893-3130. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
The Catfish Kitchen at the top of Logtown Hill in Van Buren has lunch specials every weekday from 11 till 2, starting at only $6.99. Try the 3-piece catfish filet dinner with hand-cut fries and all the fixins. It's only $9.99. And the Catfish Kitchen is more than catfish. Try their shrimp dinners, cooked any way you like it. Chicken tenders, crab cakes, or one of their po' boy sandwiches. The Catfish Kitchen, open Tuesday through Sunday 11 till 8 at 727 Fayetteville Road at the top of Logtown Hill, across from the police station in Van Buren.
At Michelob Ultra, we know it's not just about how much you work out every day. It's about how much you work into every day, too. So we brew our beer for those who realize that expending calories should never come at the expense of spending time with friends. Those who understand that just because you work out doesn't mean you can't go out. And that's why we brew Michelob Ultra to have 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and a crisp, clean taste. Michelob Ultra, brewed for those who live fit, live fun, live ultra. Enjoy responsibly. 2018 Michelob Ultra Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, 0.6 grams of protein, and 0 grams fat for 12 ounces.
What's your next obsession? If it's diving lessons, Ocean Impact Dive Shop, Western Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma's premier dive shop is waiting on you. Ocean Impact is a full-service 5-star PADI dive shop offering air fills and tank inspections. The staff can answer all your questions and get you started on your underwater adventure. Ocean Impact Dive Shop, 2127 South 56th Street, Fort Smith. Don't wait, summer's just around the corner. Get to Ocean Impact Dive Shop. Go get your dive on.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Live from the College World Series. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
1-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging. And he strikes out the side to save it. Arkansas wins 5-3. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Well, I'm sure plenty of people still making their plans to make their way up from parts throughout the natural state to the College World Series. And Bob Holt is on his way right now. We'll get to Bob in just a moment. Want to remind you that for over 80 years, Rhodes Chevrolet has been a name you can trust. They've always been dependable in the car buying and car owning experience. From the first time you walk into Rhodes showroom, you're treated like family, part of the family-owned dealership and service department that has served the River Valley for over 8 decades. Find your next dependable vehicle today at 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren or at RhodesChevy.com. Rhodes Chevy, dependable since 1934. Bob, how's the traffic?
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're doing great. What's the traffic situation like coming up? I know we've got a detour, so you had to plan ahead for that.
Yeah, well, actually, we're just going through Bella Vista, so we still got a ways to go. But, yeah, I guess there's all kinds of different ways to go. I heard 75 was pretty beat up, so I think we're going to go up to Kansas City and then maybe cut over when we get to St. Joe and do something and get back on to 29 outside Omaha. But I know it's not real exacting geography there, but it's something like that.
So, I mean, you just got to plan ahead, really. I mean, think about an extra hour, maybe hour and a half to get up to the site here. And when you get here, you'll be getting right to work. Arkansas is practicing today at the old Creighton facility. They do get to practice on the field tomorrow at TD Ameritrade Park. I think they're practicing at 1 o'clock, I think is when they get out there. So let's put it this way. All right, I pack for 11 days. I'm planning to do road laundry. You know this team well. You've been here for 16 days, too, just like last year. When we ask a beat writer, I don't want to ask you for predictions on what you think will happen here, but one way to get inside your mind about that thought is how many days did you pack for?
Well, I laundry. I don't really have enough nice stuff to wear for 2 weeks. I have about a week's worth. So I brought about a week's worth, but I anticipate probably having to do the laundry.
What could be the undoing for Arkansas in the College World Series? We're looking at a lot of the positive things. A lineup that has cemented itself. A frontline starting pitcher pitching Saturday. Bullpen looked really good for the most part of the games. They won against Ole Miss. What could be Arkansas's undoing in this College World Series?
Well, if you look at the Super Regional, I mean, Connor Nolan, Patrick Wicklander, I mean, they both made the All-SEC freshman team. I think for true freshmen, they've really done an excellent job, and they've been improving steadily as the season goes on. But you look at, they both had very short stints in the Super Regional, and of course, part of that is you can't really give a starting pitcher a real long leash in a Super Regional. But you wonder about how those guys are going to do coming off Super Regional. I don't think either of them made it to the second inning. And, Arkansas took it on the chin one game, and the second game, the bullpen was ready to go, and they did a great job. They pitched 7 1/3 shutout innings, I think it was. So, if I'm Arkansas, obviously Isaiah Campbell's been great all season, and, you feel like he's going to give you an excellent start on Saturday, but then what are those freshmen going to do? Because, the Super Regional, they obviously struggled with that.
Talking with Bob Holt. Oh, so, go ahead, Phil. I'll let you go.
No, you're good, Ty.
All right, talking with Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. He's on the road to Omaha, currently driving that way. Bob, one of the things Phil and I got into the first segment, we're talking about the fact that Dave has been to a number of different College World Series. He's been to 6 at Arkansas, and I think Phil said 8 overall, 2 at Nebraska, maybe 9. But one of the things he hasn't done yet and could do this year is win a national championship. Do you think Dave needs that validation that a national championship provides just for his own, I guess, self-interest?
Well, I don't think he needs to win the national championship to prove he's a great coach. I mean, doing what he's done at Nebraska, which really was nothing as far as the baseball program goes. No offense to the Huskers and their fans, but to take Nebraska back-to-back World Series was pretty unbelievable. And in Arkansas, obviously Norman DeBryan built a great program at Arkansas. He went to the World Series 4 times, but I think when you look at what's happened with Baum-Walker Stadium and Arkansas going to back-to-back World Series for the first time ever, I mean, you have to feel like Dave's built on what Norm did and take it to an even higher level. So obviously, every coach wants to win it all, but I mean, I don't feel like Dave has to would have to apologize or that anybody would think any less of him as coach if he doesn't win a national championship. I mean, Mike Martin, all-time winningest coach, he's in Omaha for the 17th time. He's never won it, and he's been there twice as much as Dave has. And Dave, by the way, is now, after when Mike Martin retires, Dave will be the leader among active coaches with World Series appearances. So, just like, Dean Smith finally won a national, I guess he won 2 national titles at North Carolina, but I didn't feel like Dean Smith had to win a national title to validate his greatness, and I don't think Dave does either, but obviously it would be nice for Dave and Arkansas if they could finally win that elusive national championship.
Bob, I think you talked to him, and I think you asked him this question, talking about kind of the mindset and the approach he's taken, and I think he mentioned it's a little different. He's a little more laid back, a little easier than he was in prior years, just in terms of the College World Series. Do you feel Dave's changed his coaching approach these last 2 years, just kind of connected with the College World Series?
I don't know if he's changed his approach. I think as you get older and more experienced and do this more, you just get more comfortable. And excuse me, I don't think relax is really the right word, because obviously it's not relaxing, but I think you just, you sort of get a better feel for how it works and what buttons to push, and, you get to know your team better. And so, I think just like any coach would, you kind of grow more into the job. But, I mean, Dave's been going to College World Series. I think his first one was 2001, so he's been doing this for almost 20 years on a pretty consistent basis every few years. And, this is his second back-to-back, as he did with Nebraska, too. So, but, yeah, I do think, I don't know if mellow's the right word, but I do think he's a little more, maybe relax is the right word. But it's like he said the other day, maybe it was yesterday, that the thing for him is the stress of the regular season. And then when you get to postseason, that's the fun part. And obviously, when you get to Omaha, that's the real fun part. And it's like Dave said, only one team's going to celebrate in Omaha, but getting there, it's basically like going to the Final Four in basketball, or getting to the playoffs in football. I mean, it's the promised land, and all these teams are going to have a great time up there. Only one team's going to ultimately be really happy, but I think as a college baseball player, when you get to Omaha, it just doesn't get any better than that.
But he's a rock star here in Omaha specifically. And, of course, it connects back to his time at Nebraska, where he took that program to levels they hadn't experienced. At dinner last night, I'm sitting at the bar at the restaurant, I'm eating, and a kid comes up. He's working there, and he sees I've got an Arkansas hat, and he asks if I'm an Arkansas fan. I tell him I'm, yes, and he says he's rooting for Arkansas, even though he hates SEC teams, and it's because of Dave Van Horn, and it's because of what he did at Nebraska. Dave can't walk around downtown Omaha without being recognized by people here, and it's not just Arkansas fans. There's a different thing for Dave Van Horn here in Omaha than any other coach, and I think that's even different than Mike Martin, who's been here 17 times.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mike Martin is definitely, for most people, college baseball fans around the country, he's probably the sentimental favorite because everybody knows he's retiring. He's been there so many times. But yeah, I think, sometimes when a coach leaves a program, fans are upset and resentful and they hold it against the guy. I think in Dave's case, the Nebraska fans were first and foremost, they were just very grateful that he did such a great job in taking their team to the World Series twice. And he also Nebraska hasn't been able to do that since Dave left. I don't believe, anyway. Yeah, but I think the fans appreciate what he did, and that he sort of showed it could be done. And he made Nebraska. He showed you could win big in baseball in Nebraska, which a lot of people think you can't do that because obviously it's cold weather. But so I think they appreciated him. I think they understood why he left, because Arkansas was his alma mater, and Norm was his mentor, and I think his wife's from Little Rock. And I don't think there are a whole lot of jobs Dave would have left Nebraska for, because he built something pretty special there, but Arkansas was one of those places, maybe the only one. So, yeah, I think Nebraska fans appreciate him. I think along with all the Arkansas fans up there that the Razorbacks, the Nebraska, fans, or whatever, fans you are in Omaha, if you're a Creighton fan, Nebraska fan, whatever, Nebraska, Omaha, I think went to the tournament this year too. I think there's a big Nebraska contingent pulling for Arkansas too, because they appreciate Dave Van Horn and what he did there.
Has he always had the quick hook? I mean, we saw him. You saw your starting pitchers go a combined 2 2/3 innings in the Super Regional in the last couple of games, and of course there's tons at stake here. But I also think that Dave would have made that change in the regular season just based upon what he was watching. Has he always had the hook that has been that quick?
Oh, I think it depends. Obviously, when it's a do or die situation, you really can't be patient. Sometimes you say, well, I want to give this young guy a chance to pitch his way out of this, because if he can, that's going to pay dividends down the road, and you don't want to hurt a kid's confidence. But of course, he did that to Isaiah Campbell last year. I guess it was the regional final, and but then Isaiah, I remember after the game, Dave said he hated to do it, but he just felt like that's what he needed to do to give the team the best chance to win. And he told Isaiah, "Hey, we're going to need you." And then, if you recall, Isaiah Campbell pitched really well in the game 3 of the Super Regional, and so I think he just has a good feel for his team and what needs to be done. And obviously, he wants to boost his guys up, but he's not out there worried about hurting somebody's feelings or something. If he needs to take a guy out, he needs to take a guy out. And I think he really isn't good. Doing things in concert with Matt Hobbs as far as the pitching coach. I know, talking to Matt, he says he really appreciates how Dave, communicates with him, and so he knows, who's ready, who needs this, who needs that, maybe who might need a break during the season. And so I think Dave, he has a really good feel for how to manage. I mean, to me, he manages that pitching staff like a big league manager does, kind of for the long haul. But he's going to do what he has to do to win the big games for sure.
Bob Holt's our guest every Thursday here on Halftime. Bob, you mentioned Isaiah Campbell. He's going to get the start on Saturday night against Florida State. Let's tell you something just odd out of the box happens, and the Seminoles go on a run and end up winning that first game. Can you see any scenario where Arkansas is able to lose that first game and still get back to the College World Series final?
Okay, I'm sorry. You kind of cut out on me there. Could you say that one more time?
So, Bob, if they were to lose on Saturday night against Florida State with Zay on the mound, can you see a scenario where they're able to battle back and still get to the College World Series final, even though the road would be that much tougher?
Well, I mean, it could be done. It's really important to win that first game if you can. I honestly don't know the statistics on teams coming back through the losers bracket, but I like their chances. I'll say this: I like their chances a whole lot better if they beat FSU on Saturday night. It'd be possible. You'd really need those freshmen to really.
Yeah, kind of worried that might have happened, and he had told me there's a chance that it could happen on the road.
We got a
coming
good
up from Bella
13
Vista.
minutes. We got a good 13 minutes out of him.
That's true. And he was about to get into the idea of how many times that might have happened, but Oregon State lost their first game last year. They were defeated by North Carolina in the first game of the College World Series, and then they end up winning the national title.
Don't tell Hog fans that, Phil, because then they're going to have the mindset that they need to lose the first game and then somehow, some way get back there.
Well, that really does put a test on your pitching at that point, because you no longer get all these days off. You get a day off between games at that point, but you don't get the 2 days off if you're in the winner's bracket, so that really tests the depth of your pitching. And, I mean, I wouldn't say Arkansas couldn't get to the finals if they lose the first game, but it definitely puts a real damper on the ability to do just that.
Yeah, it's hard to see a scenario just with the pitching. I know we're kind of on, not opposite ends of the spectrum, but there's a little gap between our disagreement, what could happen with this freshman pitching staff. I just think it wouldn't be shattered if Isaiah Campbell was to lose on Saturday night, but it definitely would be hurt a little bit if they were to see their mentor lose his first game and then have to step up, whether it be Nolan or Wick, in that Game 2 pressure of being eliminated.
Today, Ty, before we go to the break, though, tell them what's up with Nick and Ellie.
We're brought to you in part by Nick and Ellie Glidewell, great real estate agents here. The real estate market is hot right now, and when it's time to sell your home, they can get you top dollar for it. They're very aggressive with the marketing of their real estate, whether it's social media, photography, video, drones, 3D virtual home tours. They're going to do whatever it takes to get you to sell your home. They've been doing this for over 10 years now, and like Phil and I, they love what they do. They advertise on TV, radio, here, newspaper, because they know they want to get your house sold, and they're going to do whatever it takes to get the job done. You can find them on Facebook or Instagram, or go online at nickandellie.com.
Cherry on the top of a Thursday halftime next. It's ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
No hidden agendas on this program. You're listening to Halftime.
It's Father's Day weekend. Give Dad the gift of great TV with Dish from World of Wireless.
Call WOW now and get lots of free stuff for Father, but just don't tell your dad it's free. Call WOW now at 877-305-DISH and get the free voice remote, get the free hopper, get the free 2-year price lock, and service for less than $60 a month with both your ESPNs and a DVR service included.
If you're with the other satellite company, cable company, I bet the bill is way over $100 a month. Why would you not want to lock it in below $100, below $80 in some cases, and do that for 2 long years? That's a lot of money to save.
Yeah, put money in your dad's pocket every month by saving him lots of money. Cut your bill in half. Call World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. Go by the corner of Phoenix and Rogers Avenue. Service with both ESPNs for less than $60 a month, including your DVR.
All right, that's 877-305-DISH. 877-305-3474. Lock in your price for 2 years with World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. It's Truck Month 2.0 at Harry Robinson, and all the 2018s have got to go. There are only 6 2018 Sierra trucks remaining. They have to sell this month. Discounts over $15,000 off retail while they last. And the all-new 2019 GMC Sierra with a redesigned body style and the all-new tailgate. Take $12,000 off retail or choose 0% for 72 months. It's Truck Month 2.0. All the 18s have got to go at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Invest in your family this summer with a Doughboy above-ground pool from Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here for Burton's. There's no better way to spend your summer than with a family in your own backyard. A Doughboy above-ground pool can make that fast, easy, and most importantly, affordable for this summer. Right now, save up to $800 off on select Doughboy above-ground pool packages. Everything you need to start enjoying this this summer in your own backyard with a Doughboy above-ground pool. Doughboy above-ground pools are the highest quality above-ground pools on the market. And with these special discounts, payments start as low as $65 a month with your approved credit. And with the great staff at Burton Pools and Spas, you can count on a quality installation to make your backyard even more fun this summer. Check out Burton Pools and Spas online at burtonpools.com or find them on Instagram and Facebook. Burton Pools and Spas, 6121 0 Street in Fort Smith and just off I-49 at the 412 exit in Springdale. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
I think you love that car more than you love me.
Oh, how can you say that?
You hand wash it, you hand wax it, you listen to the same music.
Pure coincidence.
I just hope your insurance company feels the same way about it as you do.
They do. I'm one happy camper.
Maybe that's the reason so many people come to Shelter for their car insurance. We have great agents who are nuts about cars. We're competitively priced, and our claims people are fast, fair, and friendly. To find an agent near you, go to shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Looking to upgrade your fleet or needing professional service to your existing fleet? Carco International of Fort Smith offers the latest trucks and equipment in the industry. With over 70 years in the trucking and equipment business, they have the experience to keep you on the road. Carco International offers professional service after the sale. Carco International Parts Department supplies all makes, parts, and gives expert service. Carco International is the answer. Leave it to the pros to keep you on the road. Carco International, located at 2721 Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith.
Halftime is brought to you by 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Upgrade your evening on the Avenue. Live from the College World Series, you're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
And Ezel hits a drive to deep left field. That one is way out of here. And Trevor Ezel with the 3-run homer.
Back on Halftime, ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. Join us tomorrow. I'll be at T. Henry's Pub, downtown Omaha, right there at Old Town. Get to the address here in a moment. It is going to be the place where we're doing Halftime live tomorrow at 318 South 11th Street in Omaha. It is right across the street from Jam's Restaurant, and we'll be there tomorrow giving out gift certificates, talking Razorback baseball, get you set for the College World Series. And, of course, you should be watching the game if you're not at TD Ameritrade Park on Saturday at Joe's Grill and Cantina, where Tye will be.
Yeah, I'll be there on Saturday night. I'll be back in doing the pregame show here. John will be live down there, and then I'll head up there after. Half price apps and taps. It's going to be a good time. Well, I think we're both going to have a solid weekend ahead of us, Phil.
I really hope it's a solid weekend. In fact, I'm starting to think really good things about the possible outcome of Saturday's game.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right.
I'll have plenty of maybe insight, or maybe it's just a bunch of crap, honestly, that I'm looking up here that makes me think